There are some calls that are just impossible to ignore, and I've had one of those from a girl called Beck who's got a lamb, Oscar, who was attacked by dogs 3 weeks ago.
Chris is in the Adelaide Hills in South Australia. He's had a distressed call from Beck, who opens her heart and her home to animals in need.
Hey, lovely to finally meet you.
Yeah, hope you found it all right.
I did.
I'm
Nice
Beck.
to meet you, Beck.
We're just on a little hobby farm. We're only on 20 acres and it's basically a retirement village for the unwanted.
So where's our boy?
Yeah, down in the laundry, down in his new bedroom.
Of course he is.
Today, Chris is here to see Beck's latest patient, a lamb that's in serious trouble.
Oh, I can hear it.
Yeah, Oscar came into our lives as an orphan. He was only a couple of days old, very sick. He didn't have any of his mother's colostrum or anything. He just became my baby very early on.
Wow, you've been a bit beaten up, haven't you, buddy? Yeah, you agree with that.
3 weeks ago, the little orphan suffered a shocking setback when he was mauled by a dog.
Until this moment, I've only heard about Oscar and the battle he's been through, but when I actually look at him with my own eyes, it all becomes very real. And it's hard not to be shocked by his appearance. It's probably hard, but can you go back to when he was attacked?
I found him curled up next to a water trough.
Yep.
He was just covered in blood. I would jump the fence and had a look and there's just holes everywhere. Called Chris, my husband, and he rushed him off to the vet. First of all, it was just put his face back together. Then we found maggots in his wounds and then his ear died. So that was removed. At least he's alive. We'll try and keep it that way.
Beck has now turned to Chris because Oscar seems to be deteriorating.
He's just really, I don't know, sad. I know it's like he's giving up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know. Seeing that light going out of his eye, I'm really concerned that he's starting to find it a bit too much. Sorry. I just feel sad for him, that's all. I just feel he's been through so much and he doesn't deserve it, so it's just scary. He's so brave.
Where are Oscar?
In the Adelaide Hills, Chris is taking Oscar outside for a better look at his horrific wounds.
So why don't we start at the front? That seems like the logical
Do you want me
way
to hold
go.
his face up for you?
Yeah, let's do that.
The little lamb was badly mauled by a dog 3 weeks ago, and owner Beck is desperate for help from Chris to find out why his wounds aren't healing.
So you can see that open wound there is trying to heal. It's doing its best, but as it does, that scab is actually tightening the skin and pulling this lip right down,
Yeah.
which means he's kind of left with that rather surprised look on his face.
Yeah.
Beck is determined to give the little orphan every chance to survive.
99% of people have said, why haven't you shot him? Straight out. And that it would be kinder on him if I did that. I just can't. He's a member of the family and you don't just do that. He didn't ask for this.
This is going to cause him some problems. Just this lip not really meeting the other lip like it should.
Yeah.
It's going to make eating very hard. It's also going to make drinking nearly impossible because he just can't get that suction and that closure there.
Yeah.
That's issue number one. We'll move along and obviously got some fairly big wounds along here.
Yes.
As I'm working my way around the side of Oscar's face, I can't help but notice that these wounds of his, they're still weeping. It's been 3 weeks since he was attacked. I'd expect they should be healed by now. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but he's got a problem with his jaw somewhere because that's not really sitting the way it should.
Okay.
As I work my way back, I'm really feeling that jawbone to feel for any irregularities. On the left side, I can get right to the back, and Oscar doesn't seem to mind it. Along the right side, it's okay at the front, but when I get to the back, it's a different story. Sorry, little man. And you can see it really doubles him over when I touch there. Now, that is the part of his jaw that he relies on to chew grass, because that's where his big molar teeth sit.
Yeah.
And a fractured jaw is really the only thing that would explain why he's unable to eat, why he's unable to chew, and why he just continues to lose weight.
Wow. Can you fix broken jaws?
Now, there might just be a way to allow Oscar to eat where he doesn't have to chew. And there might also be a way that we can stop this jaw from moving and give it a chance to actually start to mend itself.
Okay. I'm scared. What are you going to say? I have no idea.
Just give me a moment and I might be able to round up a few things that could just help him.
That would be awesome.
Back in South Australia, it's time for Beck to find out what treatment Chris has in store for dog attack victim Oscar.
You're back.
I am back, all right. I come bearing gifts.
Yes.
As keen as I am to jump straight into my elaborate solution I have in mind, I really have to pull back and focus on the number one problem that's affecting Oscar right now, and that is the potential for infection.
First, Chris needs to clean Oscar's wounds with an antiseptic scrub.
He quite likes that.
And then administer a stronger course of antibiotics.
I think we need something that's going to be a bit more broad spectrum,
Yep.
which for sheep treats just about everything that could cause him some problems.
Wow, all right.
So now the odds are starting to twist in your favour. So I'm pretty sure I'll come up with a way to isolate his jaw,
Yep.
but still allow him to still eat food.
Right. I really don't know what Chris has got planned here. It's going to be interesting.
I've got
Of course.
a dog muzzle.
Of course.
So the great thing about this is, what does a muzzle do?
Stops the jaw moving from biting. You can't bite.
Yep. So now it's in place,
Yep.
you can see that he can still breathe
Yeah.
through those nostrils. And importantly though, it's going to stop that jaw from moving up and down and side to side. I've got a plan, and this one is a little bit controversial. You ready? We're going to hold that muzzle into place with Velcro.
Of course.
The Velcro itself needs to be attached to Oscar's skin, and for this, Chris is using super glue.
In Oscar's case, this is a perfect way of attaching this Velcro. And there's no worry about it causing any issues because it only needs to stay in place for a couple of months. Once it's done its job, then it will just fall off naturally. That's now feeling nice and firm, much to Oscar's disapproval. The vet just stuck something to my head.
I probably wasn't expecting like a mainstream solution necessarily because there is none available. So, hey, if it works, go for it. That's awesome. That's a huge change.
As happy as Beck is, I can see that she's still a bit puzzled because all along we've said the important thing for Oscar is the jaw's stable, but he also has to eat. With a muzzle on, surely he can't eat. So we need to find something for him that allows him to eat, but not chew.
Yep.
And I reckon I've got the perfect thing. These are lamb pellets.
In the Adelaide Hills, Chris is now focusing on how to get badly malnourished lamb Oscar eating again.
These are essentially a whole paddock of grass compressed down into small pellets. Pellets soaked in water become a soft gruel. Essentially, Oscar is going to be on the porridge diet. Now, what we can do is get a syringe. The really great thing about these pellets is they're high in protein, they're higher in fat, and also high in calcium. That's exactly what his body needs right now to get its strength back. He'll get used to that.
Yeah.
And he's just using his tongue there. He's not having to make big chewing efforts. So it's actually quite simple on him.
That's excellent.
But there's one other benefit of this.
Yep.
It's the fact that because this is so small, once he swallows that, he doesn't actually have to bring it back up to break it down anymore. This can go straight through to the last of his stomach.
Of course.
It doesn't have to ruminate. It doesn't have to be crushed up, brought back up his throat, chewed more, and then swallowed again.
Fantastic. I'm definitely relieved. I was starting to feel really quite uncertain, but now it's just, there is a solution. You know, it'll take a little bit of time, but it's just total relief. Total relief.
I think things are looking good for the first time in a long time.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I definitely think so too. Hopefully this is, his path to recovery. This is his way to get better.
Okay, but I'm going to check back in with you and we'll see how he goes. But there's a lot to be positive about.
Thank you.
2 weeks later, Chris is making a return visit to the Adelaide Hills to see a very special patient.
It's been a few weeks since I first treated Oscar the lamb for the injuries he picked up after being viciously attacked by a pack of dogs. Now, from all reports, he has been gaining some strength, but Beck, his owner, is still concerned about something, and that's why I'm heading there now. So where is he?
He's just in here, he's in a little cubby house. He's locked away from predators in here.
I can hear it.
At night.
Hello, Oscar.
I think Chris is going to be really surprised when he sees Oscar again.
Hello, buddy. Been wondering how you're going.
He's got his condition back, he's got that sparkle in his eye, he's that sassy little boy again.
Wow. He's put on some weight.
He has.
Yeah, we could feel the bones underneath him before. He's obviously been shorn since, but
Yes.
just across this back line here, he's actually carrying some fat, which he never had before. The biggest test as to how well Oscar's progressed has to be from how his jaw feels. Let's have a little look.
Okay.
Undo your Velcro there. Put the muzzle off. Okay, so obviously he had that fracture just at the base
Yep.
of his mandible here.
Yes.
And I remember when I touched there, he really buckled over and almost fell down the spot.
He did.
So we don't see that same reaction now, which is great.
Fantastic.
It's still too soon for the bone to be healed properly.
Okay.
So what it says is that we're on the right track. There are some really positive signs here, and it's clear that Oscar has progressed, but at the same time, it has not been a complete recovery. All right. He looks great, but you're still concerned about something, right?
Yeah, his lip is worse. As he's healing, it seems to be pulling down more. As soon as the muzzle's off, it's just gaping.
Yeah. So he's kind of got that consistently grim look on his face, as in...
Yes, you can see all his bottom teeth. You can see right into his mouth, and it's gaping more and more every day. He can't drink properly. He can't eat properly. It's affecting his quality of life.
Whilst those scabs there shrinking down is a good thing here, unfortunately, under here when it's happened,
Yeah.
with those wounds there and across his chin there, when that's happened and the skin's shrunken and tightened up, it's pulled that lip down.
Yeah.
An exposed lip like this is really going to be a magnet for flies that want to come in and lay their eggs there. Once they do that, maggots will develop, and then Oscar's lip could become fly-blown. From there, it could be life-threatening. Just going to have a play around his mouth and just see what we need to do.
I really hope Chris can do something with Oscar today. I don't have very high hopes because it's pretty bad. Mind you though, Chris has pulled something out the hat last time, so nothing would surprise me.
We want to get those lips actually coming back together,
Yeah.
but there's a bit of tension there when I do push up. It feels like it's a real effort to get that skin to actually meet up with the top lip.
Yeah.
So we kind of need to do two things. We need to relieve that tension from that scar, but also we need to stretch this lip back up
Yeah.
and put it into its proper place.
Okay.
Quite seriously, Beck, what he needs is a facelift.
Wow.
And if it's all right with you, I would like to do it now.
Let's go.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
So Oscar, one more little procedure. You got it in you? Yeah? All right, buddy.
So brave.
So brave. Guess he's been through a lot.
Yes.
In the Adelaide Hills, Chris is sedating Oscar the lamb in preparation for his much-needed facelift.
Okay, what we do need is kind of a makeshift surgical table.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah. Would you have something like a picnic rug that we can just put over this straw here?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That'd be great. And maybe a bowl of water as well.
I can do that.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
It's hoped the procedure will stop the risk of infection in Oscar's gaping lip and allow him to eat and drink normally.
This is going to be a facelift with serious medical benefits for Oscar, but it's not going to be straightforward. We've got to fight against all that scar tissue that's pulling that lip downwards.
This good enough?
Perfect. Once I get in there, I've got to loosen that up and push that lip upwards.
You're a mama's boy.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. It's really quite tough in there.
I can feel it.
Yeah. So that's what we're really battling against. Tissue there now.
Yeah.
In the Adelaide Hills, Chris has begun surgery on Oscar.
So we're now going to push this through his lip and start to see what our plan is here.
Oh, wow. Chris's idea, now that I can actually see it, when he was telling me, well, I'm not so sure, but now that I can actually see it with my eyes, I think it's genius.
I'm really happy with how this is now sitting, but before we wake him up, Oscar still has that open wound on his neck, so I've got one more task to achieve. That's a good boy, Oscar. You're almost done here, matey. So all we need to do now is just stitch this space back together.
Yep.
Oh my good.
Excellent, all right, finally.
Oscar, almost ready to stand up? Yeah? You ready? You up?
Up again.
There we go. Good drink already. We'll test it out. Where are you going? After all the setbacks in Oscar's life, it finally feels like he's back on track. And you get the clear impression he does not want to waste a moment more. Why wait to get on with the rest of your life, huh?
This is the Oscar that I know. He's back. It's amazing, it's fantastic. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Danny Dusek from Bondi Vet. If you love our show and want to see more, plus some amazing content about pets and how to care for them, hit the subscribe button. Click that little notification bell and we'll see you on our next video.